The rubric also demands personal responses. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you end up using the first person pronoun. Personally, I don't mind a bit of first person, but you will come into contact with markers who will resist the first person singular voice. I don't mind a little bit of first person plural though, so using terms like we, our, us, because that is a way of personalizing it, but without necessarily making it too subjective, too informal. So there are some ways that you can just play around with your language to offer a personal response. But the most important thing with the personal response is making sure that you have an interpretation of the poetry, a nuanced thesis that is slightly different to what your peers might be writing. You should have reached your own interpretation of the meaning and value of the poetry, which means that what you're trying to do is situate your interpretation of the poetry within the existing critical dialogue on the text. Now, if you go into JSTOR or Google Scholar or any of these databases and search for T.S. Eliot or The Love Song of Jail for Prufrock or The Hollow Men, you're going to find hundreds, if not thousands upon thousands of articles that have been written in academic journals over the last century. That means that there is some existing debate and discussion about Eliot's poetry, and you are joining that discussion. This is why it can be helpful, and some teachers and markers might even find it essential to include quotation or reference to theorists, to scholars who have written on Eliot's work. Not just so you can name drop them or to show off how much research you've done, but actually so we can understand whether your perspective on the poetry aligns with that which has already been said, what's already been written, or whether you're offering something new to what the critical consensus on Eliot's poetry might be.